wheels or whatever and just try it out properly, and you know, have a bit of time with it. But it's certainly pretty good. So just carry on straight. It's dynamically, it drives very well. They've certainly, you know, it doesn't show its weight in the corners, and it is very composed in the corners as well. You notice the high sidewalls on the tyres slightly, and you get a bit of tyre drift on it, but you know, that's the nature of off-road or an off-road vehicle, that it should have a decent sidewall on the tyres so you don't damage them when you're off-roading. If you have low profiles and fancy wheels, they're just going to get damaged, whereas this, it's got the right tyres for the vehicle really. This one is the same as the last one we had. It's on more road bias tyres. The first one was on sort of a bit more of an all-terrain tyre, and then that one in the showroom, the orange one, is on a proper off-road tyre, isn't it? And the all-terrain tyre, you wouldn't notice the difference. You know, they certainly put some really good tyres on it that suit the vehicle, whether you have the off-road or not. There's a fellow Landy there, so somebody else is out and about in one. But yeah, I do like it. I do like it. I think it's the car for all things really, and I think we said previously in the video, it sort of makes you wonder why you'd buy any of the smaller Land Rover products, the Evoque, etc. Discovery Sport, I don't see the point. The Velar even, I don't see the point of that. Range Rover Sport, well, if you want a sporty vehicle, you're buying the wrong vehicle if you're buying a Range Rover. So again, pointless trying to make an off-roader sporty. It's a complete contradiction. The Discovery 5 and this really are competing against each other, and I think just for the fact that this is the new model, you'd have this, and it's a bit more trendy and a bit more sort of up to the minute. So you know, the Discovery 5 is out the window, and then the latest Range Rovers, they're that expensive that if you want something that will go off-road, you wouldn't buy the Range Rover for fear of damaging it, and the expense involved. Whereas this, you know, you would buy it and probably use it if you were, lived up a farm track or something, or halfway up a mountain. You know, you think of a friend that we had that used to live halfway up a mountain in Wales. You'd buy this and do this, and you'd do it every day in it, and you wouldn't worry about it. Whereas if you bought a brand new Range Rover, you know, you'd be worried about the wheels on it, and you'd be worried about the panels, and it actually is a little bit too wide for the lane even, isn't it? You know, because that lane at the bottom is very tight between buildings, and even the L322 generation of Range Rover, the door mirrors actually went over the top of somebody's gutter in one point because the house is so low against the road, and if the door mirror didn't go over the gutter, you wouldn't get through. So another 200 mils width on the car, you wouldn't get it through there. Whereas this, you probably would. And like I say, it just seems a bit more of a usable vehicle for what it's designed for. The Range Rover is, you know, ultimate 4x4 really, but who's going to use one as a 4x4? It's just too expensive. It's become a limousine rather than a off-roader. So I think this just ticks all the boxes for everything you'd ever need out of a car, and it's usable, and it's quite square on the back end, so that means that if you're putting big items in, it'd be easy to load. And that big wide door that opens, I must admit, I'm a lover of the split tailgate on the Range Rover, and you know, out and about, it gives you somewhere to sit if you need somewhere to sit down, change your boots or whatever, but you wouldn't miss it, I don't think, if you've got a big wide door like this one's got, you'd just sit on the back of the boot lip, wouldn't you? So it definitely seems more usable as a vehicle.
We get all this camping stuff in, won't we?
Yeah. Like you said, you stick a roof tent on it, it'd be a great vehicle, wouldn't it? But I think you just, like you say, on this one as a 110, obviously the space inside is huge. Be interesting to see what the 90's like to compare it, and as a vehicle to look at the outside of and you know, enjoy the aesthetics of the vehicle. I'd prefer the 90, so it's just what it's like on the inside, isn't it? Yesterday, the dealer we were dealing with yesterday, they said they're sending me the invite for the launch of the 90, so we'll probably be able to go and see it in the showroom. Maybe they'll give us a test drive in that too. We'll see.
For what we use them for, I mean, I know you use them for work, but we like to go off-roading, don't we? That's our hobby.
Yeah.
To go off-roading. So it is a shame that we can't go and do some like proper off-roading in it, test driving it that way, because
and see what it's like, see what its capabilities are. It would be good. Again, as far as things like, you know, approach angles and departure angles, it's probably identical to the 90, but the breakover angle on the 90 will be a lot better, being short wheelbase. So that would be the one that I'd want to try, really, but whether we'll ever get the opportunity to try it, I don't know, without spending a fortune at a Land Rover experience place. So, but yeah.
Maybe they don't do another Land Rover day like they did that one we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that was, like you said, that was really good.
You got a proper feel of what the car was capable of.
Yeah, you did, and you know, as a bit of an anorak, I enjoyed the factory tour that I did as well. I went with somebody else there, didn't I? And we both enjoyed it. It was a good event, and yeah, it was nice to see the vehicles being built and what goes into them. But the Land Rover experience type event is yeah, I'd love to do another one and just try the vehicle out, and chances are that would be on either all-terrains or like the one in the showroom that we've seen would be on off-road tyres, and so that again increases the ability of the vehicle no end over a sort of more road biased tyre.
Which way?
So I've got left here.
Yeah, how much do I love you, eh?
Oh, no.
That was an anniversary present, wasn't it?
The clock has adjusted itself to the right time now. While we've been driving, the clock has set itself to the right time, hasn't it? So yeah, it was a very special anniversary present, that. Thank you. And would have been nice if you'd have come with me, but I could appreciate that it would be completely boring for you.
Well, it would have been nice to see things, but I would have probably been bored stood there reading everything for hours. Whereas the guy that you went